Yeah, I'm on the show.
Okay, this is the African Action Network radio and television station, and today is the 15th day of December. As maybe you're aware, Christmas is around the corner, but despite the Christmas, Liberia is gearing up for its 2023 general presidential and legislative elections. There are a lot of individuals who are thinking that Liberia for now is not on a better footing, and because of that, they are making decisions to be president of that country. One of such person is Mr. Joseph Bannie, who says he is the best aspirant to be qualified, hopefully by the National Elections Commission, so that he can ask the Liberian people to vote him in as the next president of Liberia. Well, to hear from Mr. Barney, we have he has accepted our invitation, and then Mr. Barney, we want to say thank you so much for accepting our invitation, and we say welcome to our platform.
Thank you. Thank you, Attorney James Jensen
Okay.
and the young lady back there. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Let's just hit it right on the top. I'm Joseph Banning, commonly aware. Let me just say I'm Joseph Kawalai from Mukwebu Barney, commonly known as Joseph Banning. Born in Belayala, now Bapul County, used to be Lofa County, Lower Lofa, but now Bapul County. I'm the son of the late Parliament Chief Yakwabulu Bani, who served for almost 20 years as Parliament Chief of the Bele Chiefdom or the Bele District. And, being with my father for such a long time, I think with all of the training he's gave me and with all the studies I've done on the Liberian politics, looking at the political dynamics in Liberia, I think I can do better. I can do better than all, because number one, my my philosophy in justice, that there is no peace if there's no justice. If we don't have justice, there is no peace. And I think that's what Liberians yearning for: justice and equality. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further delay, again, I'm your humble servant, Joseph Kawalai from Mokwewu Bani, and I am asking you to join me so that we all can lift up this country and bring peace to this country so that we can work in unison, especially for our young people and our young women. These are the future of our country. We cannot let them be languishing with the many Liberians who are abroad, that the present government, or not all government for that matter, had never given account of Liberians abroad. I want to be the one to be able to give account of Liberians living abroad. So I'm asking you for your vote. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Banning, we know that you are still an aspirant and hoping that you will have to apply, be certified by the National Elections Commission so that you can become a candidate in the 2023 elections. Now, why do you think George Weah should not get his second term as president of that country?
It's obvious. It's obvious. George Weah is not uh, a leadership material. Let's be frank. George Weah is not a leadership material. For the past 5 years, we have seen this young man uh, that we thought would arise up, to bring hope to the Liberian people, only to know that his selfish desire and perhaps his ways of ill managing his resources, that has brought this country to where we are today. We have people who depend on other people for leadership. And we have people who depend on their skill for leadership. George Weah is one of them that depends on people for leadership. And if you're going to depend on people for leadership, they will always mislead you. So, in my opinion, with his don't care spirit, I don't think he can handle the affairs of this country.
Okay, we're going to be talking a little more about George Weah, but the show is yours. The Constitution of Liberia sets criteria for those who want to be president. Do you meet those criteria? Are you a born son of the land? Are you above the age 35? Are you having property more than $25,000?
Yes, I'm qualified. If those are the qualifications, yes, I'm qualified. I'm 63 years old.
Okay.
I was born March 15, 1958. And I have a home in Liberia. Besides that, I have farmland. So I think I'm qualified if those are the criteria.
One of the criteria we always want to ask people about is have you been in Liberia for more than 10 years?
No,
Domicile?
no.
But that's one criteria that before someone like you will be allowed to participate into elections, the Constitution says you must have resided in Liberia for about 10 years prior to elections.
Well, if we look at that, then there are other people who have not been in the country for 10 years and are running for presidency.
So, I mean, all of you people that are not being in the country for more than 10 years, I mean, all of you should be disqualified. And those who have been in Liberia for 10 years, as a respect of the Constitution, are those who qualify to be president. Don't you think so?
I wish the government, the Liberian government were living by the Constitution.
Okay.
But they had not been living by the Constitution. When it was mandated that war criminals should not even be talking about being in politics. But as soon as they pronounce it, we saw them running. They override everything. The Liberian government always override when it is in their favor. When it is not in their favor, that's when they want to be technical. But we can all take this to court.
Okay.
There are many instances that the government have always override mandates and even the Constitution in their favor. So that should not be a problem for me and other aspirants.
Well, I get behind me. My background is the seat of the presidency, the executive mansion, and I think this is where most of you want to be allowed by the Liberian people. Now, let's talk about the people a little bit. How do you think Liberians' condition is like? What is your own assessment about Liberians, their condition?
First of all, Liberia as a whole has been degraded, more or less, to talk about the citizens. What I'm looking at right now are people who are yearning for their ability to contribute to the welfare of the country. But these folks have been denied the ability, the opportunity. Like one of the aspirants put it, that government squander resources and opportunity. So I want to interpret it to be that the squandering of the resources and opportunity were those days, were the time that when they had the opportunity to create jobs for Liberians. But I think this is the main problem that is affecting Liberia. Our citizens are not working. Jobs are there, they are available. There are many ways and means that we can create jobs for our people. But because of the corruption and the corrupt oligarchs that want everything for themselves and use the people as slaves, they're not going to make it available for them. And that's what I've seen. And I want to be the one to create jobs for all Liberians. And I can assure you that if I be the next president, all Liberians, all Liberians, like George Bush Sr. once said, read my lips. I'll say, read my lips. I have the ability and I have the know-how to be able to create jobs for all Liberians. When we create jobs for all Liberians, I think most of our problems is going to subside. The poverty rate will goes down, because then every Liberian will have the responsibility to be the full citizen of this country, to be able to fulfill their God-given rights. So that's what's happening. If the people can work, our hunger problem will go down. Because we'll be able then to afford.
So, Mr. Bannie, how do you intend to create jobs?
Okay.
Let's hear some of your strategy. How do you hope
Okay.
to create jobs? I agree with you. Many Liberians are out of job, and to give people jobs will make them independent. So, how do you intend to create jobs?
That is where most of my aspirants, I listen to them, most of my opponents, I listen to them. They always say, let's bring job, but they don't tell the people how are they going to bring job, and in those areas. Number one, what I do, our city has already been condemned. Our sanitation, our infrastructure management is poor. When we look at the city, just the city alone, we can be able to employ over 5,000 Liberians. Number one, let's look at the maintenance of our structures, government buildings. Then let's look at the cities, our seaward, the waters. When it rain sits everywhere. Those are places that we employ Liberians and begin to dig the waters and begin to remodel our sewer system. Our buildings be maintained, streets are maintained. When we begin the cleanup campaign in the city first, we can employ more than 5,000 Liberians, especially young people who are willing. Because I remember those days when it rained, we never even saw water in the street. But nowadays we got rivers. I mean, not just maybe just exaggerating, but right. We got places that people will have to literally, when they walk in the streets, water hold them by their ankle. Why so? Because these waters have been clogged. Our sewer system clogged. Like the last 12 years the whole 12 years of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and Joseph Boakai. Excuse me for the expression. We have toilet water running down the street for 12 years. And so when I hear this man talking about when he want to be president to bring sanitation, I would say, where were you 12 years when we had toilet water running in the street for 12 years? Why you didn't stop those things only now that you know that sanitation is better? So what I do, we will first of all, that will be one of the first things where we were going to create jobs and get people running. Because my objective is to get a motorbike out of the hands of the youth and begin to do something better for themselves. Then when I do that, let's look at our military. It's depleted. We don't even have military, according to studies. So what I do, I want to bring 4 categories of militarism. I want to replenish the military itself, the army. I want to bring Marine. I want to bring Air Force and our Coast Guards. Now, how can we do it? I want to improve the security system in our country. So what I do, military barracks are going to be in all of the 15 counties. And if military barracks are in the 15 counties, we have the Marines, we have the Army, we have the Air Force and all of this, it will mean more recruitment. So what happened to the ex-combatants? Ex-combatant can go there. And number one, what I want to do, I want to have a professional so that even if there's war somewhere or conflict somewhere, Liberian will be recruited as peacekeepers. I want to perfect that. So how do I do it? I will have what we call Aviation Institute built in Liberia so that Liberians will have their own Aviation Institute to be able to learn piloting, aviation, and anything about aviation, the whole 9 years.
Mr. Bannie, Mr. Banning, that sounds very good. I
Thank
wish,
you.
those ideas could be translated. That
And,
means
and
we
let me let
have.
me just let me just land right there. I
Mm.
already have a company in Akron, Ohio, that is willing to train Liberians in the aviation department. They are going to provide a visa. All the government will do is I mean, just list the people down, and they will give them the visa, and will take care of their boarding.
But
So, in other words, train
Mr.
Liberian to train other Liberians.
Mr. Banning, but this is where I'm driving. Do you have to be president so that those ideas that you have, to get Liberia, maybe you could be a very serious consultant. Maybe you could be a businessman that Liberian government could look up to in ensuring that we have those kind of fine idea. Get aviation, you get the Air Force. Liberia has its own Air Force. Liberia has its own Marine. And those are all fine ideas. And trust me,
Yes.
that without even seeing you, wanting to be president, anybody who probably want to build Liberia to that extent, we would appreciate. But that's
Thank
that's
you.
another point, right? How
Mhm.
do you hope to do it? Do you have money? Are you one of those millionaires?
That is the pitfalls for people like Patrick Lumumba once says. I mean, always says that those who have the idea does not have the power, and
Right.
those who have the power don't have the ideas. So, what are these corrupt government officials doing? They go in government and steal enough money and go by, instead of helping our people with the stolen money, they go outside the country and build themselves mansions and leave the people. So now we who have the ideas, we don't have. I'm telling you, even to register my party, I am not bragging, but because of the corrupt system, like if we who are abroad, we really want to do things for our people back home. For instance, before I go to the party, uh, 2007, when I graduated from the Aviation Institute, Maintenance Institute, ANP, my sole intention was to have business people to go to Liberia and build Aviation Institute. I had two, two Americans who were interested. We took one of his flight. One of the guys had a flight. We took a flight in Indiana Airport to Washington, D.C., and met with Ambassador Nathaniel Barnes. That was when he was the ambassador
Okay.
to America. We met with him. We fixed everything that we should have come over to Liberia and conduct aviation training. It was train Liberians to train Liberians. That was it. Guess what?
What?
He gave me the green light. He said, okay, since you're going to Liberia, I'm going to write letter to the aviation department. And those days it was William Richelieu or Richelieu Williams. He was the aviation whatever department head in Liberia. And when I went there, I met this guy. I told him everything that Mr. Barnes should supposed to give you, send you a letter for this program. Guess what? He told me we don't know anything about it. We didn't even start there. We went to see Mr. Charles Clark. Mr. Charles Clark used to be the Unity Party chairman those days.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah. So I'm just telling you, I'm just giving you this to be a face that I really don't have to be president. But the governments in Liberia don't take other people's idea to implement. For one fact that they always want the credit to be to themselves. And I don't care about that. All I want, if I want to see my Liberian people be in a better condition so that we can create what we call the middle class.
Okay.
Let's create middle class. If you're not up, at least you're in the middle. Those people who are down are those people who will not want to work. But I will create job for all Liberians so that even if you're sleeping, tomorrow you wake up, you will find job. So, Mr. Moderator, I have done those things. I
Okay.
have done research to do those things, but
That's
no, I don't have the money.
okay. That sounds good, and it is your right to become president if the Liberians can vote for you. Definitely, we'll be happy to see you sitting at this executive mansion, and making those better decisions. But
Oh yes.
let's go into our discussion bit by bit. Now you have spoken about aviation, the national security of the country, but let's look at the uh, the youth. If they are not in a better condition, you create jobs. You don't have the human resource to do the jobs. You have drugs trafficking becoming
Hmm.
a very huge and serious problem in Liberia.
My God.
And we ask these questions because it's easily said and done. The young people in Liberia, many of them are dying as a result of greed. People want to become billionaires at the expense of the young people,
Mm-hmm.
trafficking drugs. How
That's
do you
true.
intend, assuming Liberians give you the matter of authority, what approach could you tell Liberians that, they say, well, Mr. Bannie is the best person. How will you fight drugs? How will you stop drugs from entering Liberia? Just recently, 100 million worth of drugs was found to be in Monrovia.
Somewhere.
By the
Yeah.
grace of the United States government, they bring those ones.
Hmm.
In Grand Bassa, we saw drugs there. In Maryland County, we saw huge amount of drugs. How do you intend to solve this problem?
Thank you. In the first place, will the Liberians will they support me in those decisions that I will made to be able to punish these drug dealers? Will they agree with me? Because you see, if other countries can do it, and today they don't have no drug problem. If other countries can do it, today they don't have violence, they don't have this, I think we can do it. So what I would do, number one, I will consult with lawmakers that there should be a stiff punishment for drugs dealer, up to death penalty. Yeah, people say, oh, don't bring about death, death, death. But China will kill you, man.
Right.
They give you 24 hours. So if China can do it, and there ain't no drug problem in China, we can do it. Okay? But what I'll do is I will set up a rehabilitation center to rehabilitate our young people who are affected by
Okay.
drugs. There were, in fact, these students that went to college and got how you call it, study human resource, there where they're going to find their jobs. We have counselors wasting all in Liberia, all of the universities. They graduate, but they are just sitting there. I think the government by now should have, every county should have a counseling center to begin to rehabilitate the young folks. But there's nothing like that. So what I would do, I would set up rehabilitation center in all of the counties. So you don't have to leave Banga and come to Monrovia.
Right.
And these young graduates from university cannot find jobs to counsel them. Then I will go to the people. I say, look, we have to pass death penalty. In Liberia, we had death penalty before during the Tobo regime. Okay? But those were ritualistic killers. But what's about these killers that will just look at their wives and kill them over King Jude money?
Wow.
Look at their wife and kill them because the woman called groundhog. They said, don't call my groundhog, call the groundhog, take stick and kill the woman. Those kind of people, where I understand that the war had traumatized a lot of people, but that does not mean within your right mind to just kill innocent people like that. So what I'll do with the drug, I will train my drug securities to the point that, look at, like you just said, it was America who dug it out.
Right.
And we have securities in Liberia. Why should other people be looking over our people when we are in there? But yes, I will give a challenge to my drug enforcer. I will give them the challenge. I will give them the good benefit. I will pay them good, so that if any drug leaks out of their hand, they will be responsible.
Well, Mr. Bannie, that sound like someone who is prepared to become president. But the
Thank you.
issue is the Liberian people. How familiar are you with the people of Liberia? The people in Grand Juda, can they make reference to Mr. Bannie? Nima County, Lofa County, Bapolo, you from Bapolo, yeah? I know your people from Bapolo will want to support you. Maybe that's your base. Likely, I don't know that. But let's look at Grand Bassa County because it is number that matters when it comes to elections. Do you have that number? Do you think you can get the number that Liberian people can say, yeah, this man with all his fine ideas to build a military academy where you have Marines, you have, maybe some, age taking off, maybe I will let it go and wear my John the Liberian Marine, or we can convince other young Liberians from America. So
Yes,
how do
yes,
you,
you keep
yeah,
mentioning.
so how? Just tell us something. How do you intend to get the number? Do you have the number in the first place?
I will get the number. I'm already getting the number in as much as I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
And I have gotten, I don't want to say bunch, but I have gotten the numbers that even if I come to Liberia today, I can fill a stadium.
Wow.
Okay, just that I'm just here yet.
Okay.
Just on my activities on Facebook and interacting with people, I'm getting called every day and every day. How much more? I'm just asking the opportunity, Liberians, my fellow Liberians, just give me the opportunity to talk to you in person. I was in Liberia in July. I went to Lower Maserado County. I was given about 500 to 600 acres of farmland,
Wow.
and that's what I want to start with. Every county, well, maybe that question will come. Let me
Yeah,
not jump.
that question will come. Definitely
Not
come. Yeah.
jump the gun. Let
Yeah.
me not jump the gun. But what I'm saying is that I would get the numbers because the only holder was we could not go ahead of time when we were not certificated.
Right.
So
Right.
I could not jump the gun. But now that we are certificated, I'm telling you, people are coming on board.
Okay. That sounds good. Do you have a political party?
Yes.
What is the name of the party, please?
The People's Party.
The People's Party.
The People's own party, not progressive, because we ain't got no progressive in Liberia. We ain't got no blue, we ain't got no white people, we ain't got nothing. It's just us, the common people. That's why, oh, I thank God you brought that. This is why I spend my own resources, my people. Your son came to America, not just to play around. I don't have a house in America. I don't have no property in America. I spend my resources because why? They are always use us, the common people, as scapegoat. They always use us as jackasses. When they get their position, they carry us behind the house and tie us there and give us grass to eat while the merry make. So what I did, attorney, I put my own money, my own resources to be able to register the party and certificate it. By the grace of God, we got his party. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to say Joseph Bannie Party. No, I'm not going to say Liberty. I'm not going to do this. I am going to give it to the people themselves. So, my fellow Liberians, I am giving you this party. This is your own political weapon. We got to fight. Let us come together and perfect this people's party and take our country. This is our papa's land. Let's take it and perfect it and help our children, our mothers, our daughters, so that they can also feel part of this country. I'm giving you my gift. Thank you.
You have so much energy in your voice, and I don't know whether that will be transcended. Like in Nima County, Nima is one of the most vote-rich counties, and Bon County. Let's be more specific. Do you have influence in Bon County, Nima County, and Lofa County? Let me say.
Baranga tonga moka kalonka apaka pona engwali endamko kama manima ngaka yonga kanga napa kupotai jengi ganye namingi ngapala nyato na fopa namingi kwa yo Ga ku kare ku ye. Menema kai kaka bon katebla. Ngaka lone kapo age jengi kwa ngapala. Pate ngi ka pate kangi. Jeng kwa kama pate nyaba nyi ngumablai de ka gay. Dali de shay de kenema de pate de ka kukoro.
How will you speak to the Nibayans? The
So
Nibayans,
what I'm saying here is that Pele people, because it's a bon country, let me speak
yeah,
to them
yeah, okay,
in the way that even the people in the interior will know
right.
that this man will identify with them. I've been here for long. I never forget my ancestors. So what I'm saying here is that yes, Bon County, Nima County, Grand Gide, they are my daughters. Okay? And Grand Gides, they are my brother-in-law. I gave them wife. Okay. I give them 2 women. Okay. And when you come to Bon County, where I just speaking them.
Okay.
They are my Ngamboro County.
Okay.
And when you go to Basa are my in-laws.
Okay. Okay. Well, that sounds good, and I hope that the Bon County people are listening to you. Those from Nima County, from Basa, your in-laws, and your dodis from Grand Gide. We hope that they will, rally around you. But that's the most difficult thing. Liberians, especially in this period where times are hard, people will come around you because they need to survive. Do you think you can trust Liberians who are coming around you will make sure they give you their decision to say, Mr. Bannie is our choice? I'm asking these questions because I have been in Liberia, I have been into Liberian politics, and I know sometimes how deceptive it can be. Do you have that special grace to get people that will pledge their support to you? They say, well, this is our leader. We're going to stand by him. Can you say that in confidence? With the number that you have right now.
Again, like you just said, you don't read the people's mind.
Right.
It's politics. And we have seen Liberians. Most of them, what we see them do, they got 4 or 5 t-shirts on.
Right.
They show CDC. Yeah, we for Amanda, Hawetu. As soon as they tell you about it, they're going to tell them about the party t-shirt.
Right.
But what I can tell you, Liberians, this time around, let's forget about this deceptive spirit. This deception will not carry us anywhere. But by the same token, I'm saying I fired 3 people.
Wow.
I fired 3. I don't play. 1 strike, you are out. 1 strike. Why? Because there are a lot of people standing in line, man.
No,
I gave you the opportunity. You brush it 1 time, you out. So I have fired 3 of them. Okay, and these people were supposed to be my chairman for the party, but because they misuse the party resources, I didn't give. They were out.
Is that how you put your ministers?
All my ministers, my God, 1 strike, you are out because you see they are not elected. You see, so I got that power to take you out in a second.
Well, that is the kind of a leader that I think good for.
I will take you out early morning. You will come. My sister will go pack your low. All night I will be packing your low. You just come in the morning. I give you a letter. I say, Mistress Mary Brown, I'm sorry. You have failed the people. I ain't gonna play, man. We got thousands of people standing in line, and you playing with just 1 hand for the food. So yes, I will be strict, and that's what we're lacking in this country.
Okay, since we're on policy, let me ask you: do you intend to collaborate with some of these political parties in Liberia? Since you get a new political party, do you intend to collaborate with other political parties, or you just want to be a lunar man to keep going? Whether you succeed or not, you just keep, going through until probably you succeed someday.
On my phone. If they meet the criteria, I want to cooperate. I want to collaborate with everyone, even the CDC.
Okay.
Now, this party is obviously the people. We cannot prejudice the people. Unity Party, Liberty Party, Joe Brown Party, Mary Johnson Party, come to the people. But you don't have to come with bloody hands. That's one thing I will not allow in the People's Party. Those who kill Liberians must come to justice. Those who destroy this country must come to justice. This is what hurting us today. Right. No, I'm not going to be like Joy. We have to say we are family. We are not family. Let justice be done to all men. So if you come in, if you want me to collaborate with you, those are one thing. Did you take part in a war? Did you fight? Do you have any economic crown behind you? So you were in government. Did you do it? Those are things I want to know. Because you see, my thing is we will bring these people to justice no matter what. I don't want to have my minister out there trusting you, then you have to come to justice.
Mr. Bannie, there's a lot of technical team there. You know, I started.
No, that can hurt me a lot. When you ask me a question like that, it can burn me.
I know how difficult it is sometimes, and it is hard for Liberians. The ordinary people going to be voting is very difficult for them because they are looking.
Peace country.
Liberians are looking for sincere leaders.
I'm that sincere leader. I am that sincere leader. I don't have the money, but I have the policies to put in place that Liberia, I bet you gave me the gavel. I gave you 4 years. 4 years, if Liberia is not on her feet, I will resign.
Wow. Well, I know campaign is coming.
Lips. Kodanani and Liberia felani ngapekura dinga shu. Watini venazia ga koda na go vezuya. Eni koda na go eni yewu. Ga gazo ga go Liberia go minganu kro Liberia ve. Eni gazo ga go ti bete Liberia ve. Ga brotini is.
Mr. Bannie, Mr. Bannie, this is a question I want to ask. Election is about number, right? And
yes,
you want clean people. You don't want models. You don't want people who took part in a war, in the Liberian Civil War, where 250,000 persons died, and up to today's day, we don't even have the roster of those persons.
Okay.
Now I am concerned without the number. Like for example, Prince Johnson is from Nimba County. Nimbayans in the number voted for the senator. So look at Prince Johnson, I see the number behind him.
Okay.
If you go to Bon County, there are generals. Bon County was the strategic area of Taylor. So how do you intend? I mean, I'm still concerned because the way you speak, I see energy in your voice. But when I look at it, technically, I feel Mr. Bannie doesn't have the number. And
no.
Mr. Bannie may not have the number because
I will get the number. I will get the number. I am speaking for the people. The people are hurt. Okay, so what are you saying here to me, Mr. Moderator? Yeah. I will turn it back to you. Do you support impunity or you support justice?
As a lawyer, I want everybody to be given their day in court.
Okay.
Yes.
So then, what benefit would it be? You have your secretary that you depend on in your office, but she had to leave the job and go to jail to spend time spend 2-3 years to come back. What benefit would it be to your entity? Well, so why should I have my ministers? All my ministers are warlords. All my ministers are economic criminals. But they will have to leave the job to come go to court. So what I think I would do, I will give them the form. I will give them the requirements. I say, gentlemen, the doors are open. But if we take power, be sure that you will leave your job and go to justice. Would they be willing to do that? because this is the time we need to stop this dirty thing we call impunity. Let's destroy this umbrella so that the ring of justice will soak everyone equally. The Bible says the sun shine on the wicked just as it shine on the righteous.
Right. Right.
So let justice ring fall on everyone equally.
Okay, Mr. Bannie, let's go. Let's go.
We gotta suck you. You don't
Mr.
have
Bannie,
to be up there.
Mr. Bannie, I know that this coming campaign wouldn't be easy. The way I see you, you're just an aspirant. But I just imagine if they certificate you to take part in the election, it's not going to be easy. But this
we'll kick my boy every day.
Let's go into some specifics. Agriculture. I know that's the area you want to talk about.
Yes.
What is your policy?
Yes. I have seen agriculture here for almost 30 years. Okay. As a matter of fact, my job right now, I'm speaking to you in Alabama.
Okay.
My job here is I travel from state to state, from town to town, from city to city, from farm to farm, from factory to factory. I have seen a lot. Wow. So my thing here is we need an industrialized farming. This quality farming cannot feed us. Like Joseph Walker, I was hearing him in his interview. He said, we have 70 to 80% of farmers. We are going to you can't depend on quality.
That's so true.
You can't depend on ice.
I agree with you. I mean, I'm not your party, but there are some issues that are just real. In fact, our people are old. I mean, they are suffer for long. I don't think this is time for them. So
what I do, I will ask each county to give me 500 acres of farmland. That will be 7,500 acres of farmland for the first year. We are going to cultivate that. Every county must have at least 2 or 3 farm tractors. Every county must have farm tractors. And we are going to have what we call color bounds. Well, maybe you don't know that, but let's say storage, food storage. I think you see it along the cornfield. Right. Okay. We're going to have storage. And those 500 acres of farmland will just be government on the farm. They're not no quality farm. Now, the local farmers, we are going to subsidize local farmers. That's what we do here in America. Right. If Mulbar go and do his farm rice, and the groundholder go and eat it, the government will give Mulbar some money, so Mulbar can't lose. We will do that. So what we do, we will give power saw and farm equipment to all local farmers and say, look, you did 2 acres of farm last year, right? Okay, we want you to double it. So what you do, just brush. The government will cut your tree down. We will clean the farm and help you with seed rice. So that when you harvest, you give part to the government. But when the government harvest their own, we eat our own. You see? So what we do, we store it. Number one, the first year, we're not going to eat none. We'll store it. The second year, we store it. Now we got seed rice because we store it. So we got 2 years. The third year, after the farming, the 4th year, you think we can feed Liberia? We cannot stop feeding Liberia because listen, the second year again, I will ask the county to double the acres. So each county giving out 1,000 acres. We already have 15,000 acres. We cultivated 7,500 acres the first year. The second year, we are cultivating 15,000 acres. The third year, it just kind of now, okay, let's start, harvesting to get ready to eat. I'm telling you, in 4 years, I will feed Liberia.
Wow.
But I will subsidize local farmers. Those crops that we will plant will be rice, corn, and beans.
Okay.
Because beans, most of the time, are used abroad for places that have crisis. Beans. We eat a lot of kidney beans in Freetown, Right. Corn. We can use corn to have our own mist, like corn flour. We
Right.
can start producing our own corn flour. So what I want to do is I want to make Liberia an industrialized country
Wow.
so that we don't have to depend on foreign investor. When foreign investor come, we already have jobs. So then what happened? We have competition because the government is producing jobs for the people, and then the foreign come. You know then what happened? Liberians' value goes up. Because
Right.
if I'm paying you $700 and the foreign investor come, you will say, "Oh man, the government paid me $50." He want a job, right? But every one of them working, so he will increase the salary. He said, "I will get you $900," and then the government don't want the man to leave. He said, "No, come, I'll get you." So we start bargaining.
Okay, Mr. Bannie, time is fast spent, and I really enjoy the conversation. It's like you are very practical, in discussing the things, the problem of Liberia. Let's go in the area of education. How do you intend to do that?
Education.
Mm,
I'm going to now. I used to walk when I moved to Panjai, Do Bridge in Firestone. We used to walk to Dodostown in school, to school,
right.
Peterstown, Carterscan, and come back to Panjai. What I would do, my students are not going to walk to school anymore. I have my children in America that they know what walking was to go to school. They start out in bus. You want to tell me we can't for schools, for government schools, we can't buy them buses? But what I do is I would divide the cities into zones, the country into zones. For instance, Morovia. People don't have to leave from Douala and come all the way to Totmaha on Cinco.
Okay.
We'll have a government school there. In every quarter, we will have from elementary, from kindergarten to high school, and we will provide them buses. Those teachers, quarterly, you must go for in-service training.
Hmm.
Quarterly,
As you
you
talk
must go
about
for.
buses, have you been in Morovia in recent time? Do you see the way the city is looking? Do you see the roads? How do you just crossing my eyes over that and
Mhm.
how do you manage that? Are you going to redesign Morovia, or are you going to build a new city, or what are you going to do? Because even if you put 100 buses in Liberia right now, movement going to be a problem. Movement is already a problem. How do you intend to do that to solve that problem?
You see, let me bring my own parable.
Mm.
When you go to marry bamboo,
Mhm.
you already know how to climb tree because that's
Eh,
where you're living.
I know.
Okay, so if I'm going to bring buses, I
Mhm.
will have to revitalize the streets. Those are the places I told you about how I will start remodeling the city.
Right.
We are going to break. Look, those Zinran in Liberia are going to move. My remodeling of Liberia, my people. We are going to have what we call complexes, living complex. For instance, like West Point. We
Right.
will move West Point along
Okay.
some of the highways and have building complex. Now, for instance, we want 200 in this place. We will have that building complex. We have their own shopping center and everything. You know what that does? That
No.
will be more easier to be able to identify crime and other things. But everybody gets stuck together. So in those places we have schools, we can ride our buses without no problem. But
Hmm.
that would give that if you can give me just give me the ability, even if I don't have to be the president, let me work with some president to bring calm to Liberia. I really just want to be able to face Liberia,
I
please.
know, I know, I know. No, that's honestly. I mean, you make a lot of points here, and I hope Liberians are listening to you. It's not campaign yet, and we want to send that caveat to those who monitor in all of the presidential aspirants that our
And
discussion here.
let me not cut you off.
Yeah,
People's Party, like I said, is open to all Liberians. If Mr. Johnson, you sit down over there, if you think you can do the job, as long as you can live by the principles ruled of the People's Party, I will get out.
I got you. I got
But we will write a memorandum of
you. Yeah,
agreement.
right.
If you don't do it according to the platform, the next morning I will overthrow you. Yes or no? You write it down.
Well, that's a good approach because Liberia it's not like okay, Ellen that she govern with 80%. We don't need to audit. So how do you intend to do that? Do you intend to audit the United Party, the CDC government, assuming you were elected as president? Do you intend to audit them, or you just sit with them and understand the financial loopholes, and then they show you how to go about it, and then you are satisfied. You sit down and forget the People's Party, the platform, the People's Party. What
This is what
are you going to do
this
with
is
audit?
this is what disappoints me a lot when I listen to my buddies. They never call the criminal by name in the first place.
Who?
You see, the first thing, if you're not call, he's not going to call me by the way in the town, and every now and then we're passing by each other. I'm picking fun at you. If you can't call my name, you'll be a coward to me. But if you can look in my face and say, "Look, Mr. Bannie, I'm going to kick your Pam," then I know you mean business. But if I'm going to have the gavel to bring people in economic criminals, why wouldn't I audit this government? I will. George Weah government is going to be audited. Joseph Boakai will be audited. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and her children will be audited. Let me call them by names, y'all. I ain't afraid of nobody. As long as you hurt this country, I will call you by name. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is responsible for all of this because she introduced the brown envelope thing. Brown envelope have corrupted this country so much that every little thing you do, my cold water, you gotta pour.
Are you not afraid that these people will?
I am going to call their names, and I will be the one to bring them to justice. I will audit all the government. This is where my buddies don't want to talk about. They just say if you break the law, oh yeah. So are you saying when you get in power, when you break the law, then what about those who broke the law and are working on impunity?
Well, we hope to our viewers, we are hoping that Mr. Bannie, God gave him the opportunity. Those of you who believe in his philosophy, but Mr. Bannie is one of those aspirants. He's talking out of a fine talk, and he's saying, "Hey, Liberian, the people from Bon County, Nimba, his Dodi from Grand Jide, and his in-laws from Grand Basso," he says, "You should vote for, not vote, sorry for the word vote. You should what? Get on your side so that you can play."
You'll come. We can build this country.
But Mr. Bannie,
okay.
Mr. Bannie, this is an issue that foreign policy. China is having or influence moving towards Africa. America said, wait a minute, Africa, we will not allow Africa to go to China, or will not allow China to have influence over Africa. Liberia's tie with the United States. How do you intend to balance your economic effort in getting resources? All the fine ideas you're talking about here, you cannot get it achieved without money. And you are already in America, you know the American system. That traditional belief, economic policy, you must work to make sure, let's assume they give you 2 cows. You should work, feed the cow, get the milk, feed your citizens. China could come and say, well, you have 2 cows, we're going to give you 10 more cows. You can kill some. You can do what you want to do. By the end of the day, you're going to be making decisions, foreign policy decision. How do you balance some of those things? Just to get, your idea between world powers.
In the first place, we are going to be Liberians. We are going to respect our culture. We are going to respect our traditions, and we are going to respect our sovereignty. We are not going to kiss the doctor because of our mother's sickness. So what do I mean by that? We will intend to perfect all Liberians. One guy put a show on Facebook where you see Liberian people dancing. They got pastors, they putting money in there, and then they have the Chinese facing,
Right, right, right.
electronics.
Mm-hmm.
If you saw it, I want Liberia to be like that. If we can empower our citizens, let's start facing these little electronics. We can fit watches.
Right.
We can look. I would say, China, don't give us the money. Give us the materials. Just let us put Samsung phone together. And while we're putting the Samsung phone together, my Liberian folks are learning the technology. Okay, my buddy stay here. He's still willing though to bring to help me bring the aviation institute. What we can do is look, because you see one jet plane, that not one country can build it.
Right.
Several countries can build it. All the little pass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would say, look, you know what? I am a ANP, and we know we have a lot of Liberian ANP. We can put airplanes together. Just bring all the wings, so that Liberia can only be putting airplane wings together. So what I'm saying here is that we want to be able to be doing the same technology in Liberia. So then, Liberia, China and America, they gave us the money. We invest into technology and employ Liberians. I'm telling you, a few years from now, even when I'm dead, Liberia will be able to stand on her feet. But
Okay,
with my
Mr. Bannon, the time is fast spent. I know we're going to be talking.
if
Let
we
me
can't finish it,
ask
we'll finish it
you.
tomorrow.
Let me ask you this question. You spoke about tradition. You believe in the tradition of traditional practices and all of those stuff. There are global efforts as to FGM. How do you intend to manage such a global call?
What do you say? Come in again.
There is this global effort to stop female genital mutilation, and we know Africa, Liberia, especially the region where you're from, the people practice FGM. Now, I'm asking you, how do you manage if you were to become president with tradition, culture, to that of the global community, what the global community is fighting to stop?
Okay, the question is, uh, did my mother, my sister, who as far as my auntie living, and she went into the sandy bush,
Right.
and I know they did her, but she is hefty and she is sexually active. So the question is here, look, we put stop to things when it become harmful to health. Excuse me, I'm not trying to be rude, okay?
Yeah.
If I am uncircumcised and having sexual intercourse, I'm enjoying myself and the woman is enjoying it, why you want to circumcise me? Or because you are circumcised? So what I'm doing is that I don't think we should be interfering with our deep culture and traditions. To say, hey, from today on, no more standing bush. When the people know how to do it, they have been doing it even before we were born. And there has never been a time where a woman was circumcised and she died. Except maybe mistake. Myself, Mimi, I went in the poor society. Okay, I went under the knife. And you think the sterilized knife, but they use it. So no, if I be president of Liberia, I'm not going to interfere with my people tradition and because then that means I will stop the poor society.
Right.
So what I do again, like I said, yeah, let's remain as African, yeah, let's remain as Liberian, and not try to be Westerner when we are not Westerners. This is why today we are having men running behind their friend men, women running behind their friend woman. We never learned that.
So will you not allow that in a Liberian society?
I would not say that, hey, don't have sex with your friend man. I will leave that to your own discretion. but I will not allow it in my presence.
Meaning you,
Because there are two ways.
because if you are president of Liberia,
Mhm.
these are open society. I mean, if you allow,
I am not going to allow gay. I'm not going to allow gay lifestyle to be legal in Liberia. Let me put it that way.
okay, okay. Well, those who listen to you will make a better analysis of what you are saying. But let's take some few comment. Time is fast spent, and probably you can address some of these concerns from our viewers.
Okay.
Yeah, we may not take all of these because there are a lot of comments here, but let's take a few of them because of time. Um, this one, Stanley says, a pleasant greetings to the peace-loving citizens watching from the abandoned District 9, Mosovado County. I am Stanley Basso following. Well,
Follow.
Stanley, we want to say welcome. This is your presidential, one of your presidential aspirants. This is from Tara. I'm watching, oh, come on. This is watching live from Monrovia, okay? There are a lot of people watching you. Roland Bacchus Matthews. I'm watching from Paris, France.
Ooh.
We want to say Roland,
Bonjour. Bonjour, Moujet.
okay. Stanley Bazou, hey, Lord, who abandoned this District 9? Well, I think this man has interest in District 9. This one, let's say for fun and say funny people around. Well, we don't know why he's talking there. Um, this is True Radio. Say we're the only independent and balanced online news network. Okay. Yeah, indeed, we are independent on
Thank
the
you.
platform. Let's go back to that residency clause. Someone is saying Article 52C needs to be looked at seriously.
Mhm.
Um, Article 52C, the residency clause. I think you spoke about it already, right? Your
Yes, we
land
did.
and power were Liberians, and even though you say you haven't been in Liberia
10 years.
10 years, but you're going to file your your petition or going to apply, and the National
Mhm.
Electoral Commission going to make that decision. And for any reason they deny you, you want to challenge the law before the Supreme Court.
Right.
Okay, so Ty, you began it. I think that way he is. He will take the position of pursuing the law or his denial, if any, to the Supreme Court. Okay, to read it again. Ty says seriously what? We don't know that. And okay, let me just take a few other comments from. This is. He says, what are you doing now for young people in Liberia? Do you only have interest in their manpower when you become president? Where have you been all this while?
All this
Did you
while.
show your constituents in this country? Do you have a constituency? I think that's one of the key points I got from there. Where have you been? Well, you said it, you've been in the United States working and trying to get involved. But maybe you can answer for yourself, Mr. Bannie. But
Mhm.
let's take one more. Let's take a few more comments, then you can address all of those concerns. Um, this one from Stanley Basu. Stanley Basu says, "Thanks and appreciation for that responsible act. As I said in my earlier introductory, I am funding from the abandoned District 9, most of our county. When I hear that, Stanley, where whom Honorable Frank Tiafoco, representing at the House of Representatives, to a radio. I'm available to discuss the issues surrounding our abandoned district. Okay, we will talk about that sometimes, but this is a different topic here. We have our aspirant. This one says, you only knew that the people are suffering. I guess that's what you want to say. Election time, suffering during election time. Okay, you more come on, let us see 0.1% people You're welcome. Well, he's saying, well, you're not going to get even 0.1% in the
Okay.
that's election. That's why that's the key pointer from his comment. Okay, we have
At
time.
least I will get something.
Okay, so Koboye, our politicians are good at getting citizens close to them during election. They will just come out saying things that they won't do when they get there.
Hmm.
Well, I guess you respond to that. And Kubo again says, this is what he says. Imagine if they were doing all of those things that they say. Imagine where this Liberia would have been, I guess is what, in short, I would conclude of his comment. This was a hope we get the right leader. Yes, that's my prayer. Likewise.
That's
Okay, Mr. Bannie, time is fast spent, but
Mhm.
we just want you to see if you can respond to some of these comments and then probably give us your closing statement. We definitely appreciate your being here, and we will definitely plan some other discussion, prior to the election. The
for
next
the
election.
fellow for the fellow who say, "Where have I been all this time?"
Right.
You know, again, we could not be the spider. The story of the spider. He
Mhm.
wants to eat in two villages at the same time.
Right.
You know, I can't be. I've been in America all this time, but all of my resources. If I don't want to come sit here and start naming you what I have done. A, B, C, D, and F, and who have done this to me. But if I should, I would have had buildings. I would have had schools. Had I not been duped, 4 acres of land I bought, 2 acres of land adjacent to Samuel Striker, to Boys Town. I bought 2 acres of land there. I should have built a school. But when I left to go back to Liberia, America, they took the land from me. Then I had another 2 acres of land in forestry. They took the land from me. After I land, they
Wow.
sold it to another person. I still got a deal. So what I'm saying here is that it's not easy, my brother. You asking, where have you been or all of that? Okay, I could have done a lot like other people, but let's look at those people who who used to come in government. They take the whole bunch of money. What are they doing for Liberia? They sit down in Liberia and see the people suffering. For instance, uh, let me call another name, Bernard Ure. He's one of the richest men in Liberia. You don't think if this man had a map for Liberia, he would have had factory and plants in Liberia now, at least to be facing rubber slippers to hire you? But you, the one who talking to me, you behind him, you trying to put him to power. If this man is reached to that point, he has not done anything for you. What made you think you put him there? He will not infuse the stolen money into his money and say that my money. Like Ellen Johnson said, leave. They said she was rich. So the money she took, like the Exxon, the Sharon money, $50 million. She infused it in her son's account. If you ask her, she said we were rich before, and hey, we had our money before. But if you put poor man in power, and tomorrow you see him in the mansion, you got a way to accuse him. So my brother, I did my best. I have given you political party. If you don't want it, if you want Joseph Biden to come and build college before you can take him to be a president, I don't think you will have that from me. So, but what I can do is to give you the ability. I give you the hook. If you don't go fishing for yourself now, that your business, my brother. Let me just be real with you. That people must have to build this before you can see him. This is where the stealing can come from. Today, this man went and took money from America. He was lashing money here and there. He bought cars, he bought buses. Where is he sitting? In jail. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to come to you with the resources. I said, look, here is a yellow, come together and work. So that tomorrow, I will not have voice over you. Because when you put your own inside, I put my own inside, tomorrow my mom will not be over you. But we
Mr. Bandy,
fail to do that.
Mr. Bannie, I think before there's a comment here from one of the presidential aspirants. You can read that, and I will emphasize that. But I think the person who made this comment, I want to take it from this point. Liberians, most of them are like confused, not in a disrespectful way, but because Liberians were looking for educated people. Madam Saleh became president,
Right.
someone who had a certificate from Harvard. So they thought she was the best person to have
I thought we're
redeemed
going
the
to even
country.
come to that.
All right, no, we can cover all
And
those things.
I should educate that man.
Okay, so then they said, well, Georgia came. Okay, he's from the slum. He's our kind.
No, no, no. You forget it. We started with the Congo people.
Yeah, but
The
that's what
Congo
I'm saying.
people only for Congo people. Then we say let the woman born soya.
Right.
When that woman born soya, we fight that walk him. Then we say, well, rebel, you came a man, you came a pa, I will vote for you. Today
Right.
he said that behind Jay. We say you not bring the most educated person. We brought 12 years, people water were running down the street. Eh? All children were enriched. People, you didn't even know what job was. So like Joseph Barker talking about, I will bring job. 12 years he didn't bring job. Then now, when fraud was young, he get bought. Oh, now that time board will come. So what I'm saying here is that now we say, okay, let's put our own man there. He's a superstar. The superstar come there. He raking the money from left to right. So why we, the common people, why we cannot go and say, look, gentlemen, you all come together. Ladies and gentlemen, you all come together and take our land. But then you want to judge.
No, I think that
It's
that's where
not
our that's where
nothing.
that's where I wanted to lay the emphasis. With all of what you have said, the narrative, the end result is Liberians are still having hope. But who do they trust? I think that's the crust of the concern from the person who made the comment. So
But we can trust him. I will trust him. If I know his name, I come to Liberia, I want to meet you, please.
okay,
You come and work with me. Okay, come to the People's Party and say, look, Mr. Bannie, I don't know you. I've been in Liberia for all this time. I will give you place. Come there, my brother.
okay,
Let's
I
do
think,
the
I think
job.
that's a fair comment, and I think
It's
to
fair. But
to
don't sit
go
down on the fence and be throwing too. Come
right.
inside.
Right. Okay, you can address this last concern. I mean, since I hope you all will interact. This is Chuchu Alex Jones. He's one of the presidential aspirant. We have
Yeah, I heard him. I
okay.
heard him talk.
So he's saying what? Interesting man. We are willing to join forces as equal partners for change. Do you
Amen.
agree? Do you agree with him?
Amen. Mr. Alex Jones, you can see me, you can meet me on Facebook. I'm gonna give you my Facebook name, Joseph Bannie. Join me and see what we can do, man. We
Okay.
can join.
So with that being said, Mr. Banner, we want to say thank you so much for honoring our invitation. We want to talk to all of those who want to be president of Liberia. It's a joy. This mission, we don't know who's going to occupy after 2023 elections, but it's my hope that Liberians will listen more and that they will take a position. Look at the future of their children and take a position. Look at their current condition and take a position, not negatively. 6 years, if their children did not go to school or better school for 6 years, they will have to make a decision. If their children went to school and 6 years was better for them, they will have to make a decision. So we want to say thank you so much for honoring our invitation, and this is the people's platform, and we want the voices to be heard, so the Liberians can be able to have an opportunity in making a better decision. It was a pleasure
Thank
to
you.
have you on our show.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to even coming some more so that we all can join together and face our country. One thing I wanted to say was that Liberians in foreign country, their voices need to be heard too.
I agree with you.
We need to
Probably,
get their voice.
probably we have to talk about that someday. I think talking about whether Liberians
Absentee ballot.
absentee ballot, whether they can vote
Yes.
out of I don't know. That's a big one, and maybe we will organize few of you presidential aspirants, and then we can see how we can discuss that. We have Cabinet
Okay.
Janet as Cabinet Janet's own dream that diaspora Liberians should be allowed to participate in the election because the Constitution says it. You
Right.
know, yeah, so he believed it that that's something that's supposed to take part should happen in this election. But with all of the prevailing situation is left with the National Elections Commission to speak to that. Albeit, in the words of Cabinet Janet, and maybe you can contact Cabinet Janet, he believes that the National Election Commission should be taken to task if they cannot uh, make a provision for Liberians
Authentic.
abroad to participate and vote in the upcoming election. So that they
Maybe
are
I'm the one who will take them to tax.
fine. So he's looking for someone like you. So I will think, in fact, I will tell patient she need to contact you specifically on that matter, and then to see how you can also link with for Cabinet Janet, Justice Janet, so you can begin to discuss from the other angle, likewise. However, I want to say thank you so much. We will again
Thank
try
you.
to see how we can get Liberians, to listen more. So as time goes on, we will also extend that invitation to you. It was a pleasure.
Okay. It was a pleasure. Ellis Jones, my ear standing for you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Okay. This
Bye,
is
Liberian people. I love you so much. If anything I can do, I will die fighting for y'all. Especially so, the violence against women and children must stop. Thank you.
okay. This is the African Action Network radio and television station. We have been having in our audience Mr. Joseph Bannie, presidential aspirant for the Republic of Liberia. He says he has all of the finest ideas. He wants to build Liberia's military. He wants to ensure that there is a marine force, there is an air force, there is all of the finest thing you have heard from abroad. You want to make sure that that sector of Liberia is on par like that which is happening in the United States. Agricultural wise, he says, well, he wants every county to have its own farm. Well, those are fine ideas. He also says for drugs, hey, you're not going to take side with anybody. In fact, he's calling for death penalty for those who will be bringing drugs in the country. That is not going to be his decision alone. But the president has a voice, has a power. So we look up to all of these aspirants, and then we say, until then, thank you so much for being there. Continue to make your comments, share the video, and for any reason you want to join the People Party, well, Mr. Bannie says you should join him. Okay, that's how we end today's show. Thank you so much, and have a pleasant and a wonderful evening.
Amen. Thank you. Adios. Ooh, thank you, Jesus.